Ashley, and today I will be speaking on equal pay. As a political science major, I know getting into my career as being a lawyer, I just know that my pay will be drastically less than the male doing the same job as me. So I'd like to look more into that topic and of course educate you guys, because at the end of the day, for my ladies in the room, it does affect us quite much, especially the women of color, and we're just going to get on to that. So yes, I was on Twitter the other day, and I don't really go on there for like the drama. I go on there for, you know, political kind of things. And I saw a tweet that reads, and I quote, "Who wants to step up and pay the $530K I'll be missing out on my salary due to my gender," end quote. And I was a little skeptical about that. I'm like, there is no way that ladies are missing out on this much money on their salary due to our gender. So of course, I did my research, and the numbers I found, the statistics, the facts, it was just mind-blowing. And I was a little disappointed in our country. One of the things that really got me was that there was an Equal Pay Act of 1963, which states no employer can underpay the other gender for doing the same job performed. Of course, that is a more shortened, version of what the act says, but nevertheless, it's basically saying corporations do not have the right to pay a female less of the job that men does. So as a nation, corporations are still hurting our economy by doing this. And what I mean by that is females are paid as low as 79% of the white man's dollar. And because I do put white man's dollar in front, is because even minority men are still being paid a lot less than, the other white men would. And you would think after the EPA, then why are we still paying women less? Why will we not stabilize pay? And then, of course, how is it affecting society? So, according to Carolyn B. Maloney, she's a part of the U.S. Congress in the Economic Committee Joint. She said 2059 will be the year that we stabilize pay for men and women, regardless of ethnicity. And I'm just a little nervous for that, because in my career I'm going to be working all of these years where I'm missing out on this like $530K of my salary, if not more. So that's definitely something that raised an eyebrow in my opinion. And until this happens, women holding a full-time job will be making less than $11,000 than the next man would for that same job. And then when race plays in, of course, it could be up to 70% of that same dollar. So with all this, it comes to show that our nation is very economically inefficient to provide for the female as much as they do for the male. Here's another quote for you guys. If women were paid fairly, single women's income would rise by 13.4%, single mothers would earn at least 17% more, and then married women could earn up to 6%. Although these are small numbers, it's still a great change for us, and it still adds more money in our pockets. Because for the single women, single mothers, and married women, of course, we have things to provide for our children, our house, utility bills. It's hard to compete, especially in the state of California, because we all know how expensive it is out here. So the fact that we're making this less money than the man is just kind of blood-curdling, in my opinion. 12 million families rely on a mother's earnings, because the rate of which men get laid off is dramatically increasing. So obviously when the male loses his job, that's one less income that they're relying on. So since women are being paid lower than the man, and then the man doesn't have a job to provide for the family, then it gets really tight. And then in this case, families can risk poverty and ultimately homelessness. And so that's definitely something to look at, because the homeless problem in America is something that we are still battling today. And on top of all of this, and the overall stress of the women for being paid less, it's harmful for our society. Because women in these competitive fields already have to, risk it all to get the job in the first place. It hurts, the civil groups that we have for society. Wait, what is it, this mean?
Oh, you weren't here when we announced that. That means that you've gone 4 minutes and your speech was supposed to be 3.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm done. Thanks.
Okay.